Welcome back to the channel, guys. As you guys can see from the thumbnail that I just made, we're talking about Asteroid Shiba in this live stream, and just giving my thoughts on it. You know, as always, nothing I say is financial advice. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. And all of my content I make on the channel is all entertainment and educational purposes only. Let me make sure the audio is okay. So let's take a listen here real quick, this live stream, and just giving my thoughts on it, you know. Okay, so we're good on the audio. So I typically don't do live streams, but you know, I uploaded a video already today, I think, because I have a lot of videos in the draft because you know, I make content for the Patreon, focus on making content for Patreon members. But I have a lot of videos in the drafts, but I was like, you know what, kind of have some free time here, and you know, this project here is making a lot of waves in the space, so let's just talk about it, right? Why not? So this is a meme coin. I personally don't have any exposure to it, but someone in my Patreon does have exposure to it. You know, I was speaking to Google Gemini about like you know, title ideas, thumbnails, etc., and stuff like that, right? Someone in my Patreon spoke about the project, right? I think they want to remain anonymous, but this is not like their doxed account or anything like that. But they presented the thesis for us in the Patreon Discord, right? And remember, you only get access to that by becoming a Patreon member, the private Discord. And they talked about this project around like 110, 120 mil market cap. They mentioned it, right? And they created their thesis around it. So in that private Discord, you know, we're always talking with each other, because I think it's better to approach the space as a community, as a group, instead of, you know, by yourself. So if you're navigating the space by yourself, I definitely recommend, you know, joining my free Discord, sticking around, and then if you want to get access, you want to, you know, level up, step up to the private Discord with Patreon, definitely recommend it for navigating the space, guys. But they talked about this project around 110 mil market cap. Shinobi, great trader, right? So they spoke about it at 110, 120 mil market cap, right, on this dip here, and it's at 163 mil market cap, right, on chain, as you can see. Now, a lot of people did not know this project existed, so they had people that bought at this crazy low down here. Clearly, I'm not telling anyone to buy into any project. Remember this, guys. I'm just, you know, talking about a project that I think is good for the overall market. Because when you see projects start to make moves like this, in, you know, when for months upon months the market has been just terrible. The market has just been extremely terrible. So when you see projects that make moves like this, it means that we're starting to see a recovery in the market. We're starting to see, you know, it's time for you to lock in. It's time for you to, you know, pay attention. It's time for you to start, you know, strategizing, analyzing the space, and starting to make moves based on this, right? So they have people that obviously bought all the way down here at these lows, man. You know, less than $1 million market cap. Then, you know, this is you know, had like a thesis with Elon Musk, right? As you can see, the first Shiba in space. And then it had a pullback here, right, back down to around 17, 16 mil market cap. Then it just absolutely exploded, right? Exploded all the way up to almost 200 mil market cap. But what's very interesting here, from when Shinobi talked about it at 110 to 120 mil market cap here, it's at 163 mil market cap now. A lot of people are speculating this could be, you know, $1 billion coin. I personally don't have exposure to it, but I'm just talking about it because, you know, it's good for the space. It's good that we have projects that are breaking through crazy ceilings, and there's people that are minting 6 to 7 figures on crypto again, right? That's the start. That's how a bull run starts, right? And I'm paying attention. So if you take a look at X here, first Shiba in space asteroid. So basically, you go through the story. The first Shiba in space is traveling aboard a SpaceX rocket representing clarity, charity, space technology, and dreams. Elon Musk has shared videos of Asteroid Shiba multiple times, lived the designer of Asteroid Shiba, even attended one of Musk's early talks, participating in a live Q&A. You can purchase the Asteroid Shiba plushie from SpaceX and the Polaris stores. So Asteroid Shiba alongside Polaris during SpaceX's live broadcast. The design of Asteroid Shiba was inspired by Elon Musk's Shiba Inu Floki. And this is live here. And the goal is to send one of the plushies, right? If you see in the top right corner, the goal is to send the plushie to Mars. Elon Musk has been speculating, and I personally agree with the richest man in the world, who's almost the first public trillionaire. Of course, I would agree with him. He's been speculating that because of AI and robotics, you guys know I'm very bullish on AI and robotic projects in crypto and just in general, right? So he's made a tweet. Let's see if I can find his official tweet. I want to make sure I find his. I just want to find his official tweet. King, King, thanks for joining the live stream. Thank you so much, man. No thanks too high for market cap in this bear market. I'm not saying to buy this. I don't have exposure to it either. I'm just saying now is the time to pay attention to the overall market, because when you see projects starting to move like this is the signal to me. Maybe we're almost at the end of the bear market. Maybe it's not another 6 months. Maybe, we only have a couple months left of the bear market. But because, when you see projects like this move on mainnet Ethereum, remember, this is a mainnet Ethereum coin, right? This isn't Solana, right? And because of this, I'm like, it's time to pay attention. It's time to lock in, because guess what? If this is, the signal, this is a signal here that now is the time to have some wallets, load up some ETH. Have some ETH loaded up in your wallets. Pay attention to ETH mainnet. Pay attention to base chain, because it could be the start of something massive. So let's see. Let me see the tweet I was looking for. So you see he doubled down here, okay? So Elon Musk's proposal of universal hike income to combat AI job losses baffles economists, right? Economists are saying he's so wrong on this, and Elon saying it will happen. Right on. I wish I could find his original tweet though. Okay, here it is finally. Okay, so 68 million views on this, right? As you could see, universal high income via checks issued by the federal government is the best way to deal with unemployment caused by AI. AI and robotics, and I've talked about AI and robotics projects on the channel multiple times, will produce goods and services far in excess of the increase of the money supply. So there will not be an inflation. And a lot of people are, saying he's a communist, saying he's wrong, etc., etc. I decide in my head, in my reality, in my mind, right? Because you got to speak things into existence. If you speak negative on your life, you're going to get negative. If you speak positive on your life, if you speak abundance, that's what you get. You get positive, you get abundance, you get what your goals are, your dreams are, right? So my interpretation for this is that instead of, we be negative Nancy's and think it's not going to work out, why not be positive and think, whoa, just like how the boomers, had a golden era in America where, people people that are past the age of 50 to 60 years old could, invest in the S&P 500 at the time that was basically the golden era for America, where you could have one income. You could work one job and still pay for your wife, kids, house, everything on one income, right? Maybe because of AI robotics we get back to the golden era of things, and maybe because of AI and robotics advancing so quickly, maybe we don't get a typical bear market. That's my speculation. Maybe we're about to enter, I would say we are. Let me be confident. We are about to enter a new golden era. See how the boomers had their golden era. Look at the S&P 500, right? They had a golden era for America, right? So we're about to enter a golden era once again for the younger generations, millennials, Gen Z, people under the age of 40, right? Or under the age of 50, I should say. I think we're about to enter a golden era. And Asteroid Shiba here, right, as a meme coin is just a signal that it's about to start. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, obviously. I'm only human. But that's just my opinion here. This is my signal that a lot of the bears are feeling too euphoric, and they might not get the same type of, signal that they've gotten for the past cycles, right? Yes, I know there are people that are way smarter than I am that believe in the 4-year cycles, etc. I know. But typically you don't see stuff like this in a bear market. You don't. When you saw stuff like this in a bear market when Pepe was launched. Pepe came out around the end of sometime in 2023 when everyone was giving up on crypto a lot, and then Pepe just restored everything for on-chain, right? So this is just a signal for me, like, maybe things are different. Let me say they are different. Let me say that. King, thank you so much for joining the stream. If you're in the stream right now, comment, subscribe. And remember, guys, like I said, a Patreon member spoke about it in my private Discord at 110 million market cap for Asteroid. He said, yo, I'm buying the dip here. I was like, okay, man, I respect it. Obviously, if you take a look at the all chart, it's my strategy says don't FOMO into coins that are up so massively, but he's taking the risk, right? Let me draw a perfect circle here. Let me draw a better circle. So he's taking the risk. But if this thing goes on to make another 5x move, these are the type of call outs you can get in the Patreon, right? I got 37 members on the Patreon. It's only $5 a month. I'm also doing project reviews as well. So if you're a Patreon member for more than 2 months and you want me to check out a project that you're bullish on, you could just join the Patreon, join my DM me, join the private Discord, etc. And I would make that project review. So I have another one coming. So to join the Patreon, you just have to go to my channel bio right here, Crypto Spaces, and then the first link, right? Patreon, public Discord as well, right there as well. So, I told him, yo, I pray because I believe in Jesus, I believe in God here on the channel. I told him I pray for the success in your trade, man, because it's pushing up here. You could see it's making another leg, right? Most people would have expected it to continue to drop here. No, it didn't do that. It's making another leg up. So this is the signal to me, like maybe we're starting to get bullish again. Maybe the market is starting to turn around again. And even if you don't get exposure to this, just know there's going to be more opportunities. Even if you don't get exposure to Asteroid Shiba here, right? There's going to be more opportunities that arise. So make sure you are locked in. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're checking your phone 24/7. You're checking your computer 24/7, because all it takes is one successful trade to start a snowball effect on your portfolio, and then boom, you're up 6 to 7 figures, right? That's how it is. If anyone else is in the chat, just leave a comment in the chat. Leave a comment in the chat. I'm gonna end the live stream off, pretty much around here. So if you got any questions, anything you want to tell me, let me know. Like I said, I don't have exposure to Asteroid Shiba, but I'm using this as like a gauge of where the market is at. I'm using it as a signal, and I just wanted to cover it on the channel as well, because there is a Patreon member that is in this project around a good entry, a good dip, right? So eventually maybe it goes to 200 to 300 mil market cap, and then he could de-risk his investment, And like I said, these types of call outs are in the private Discord. I definitely recommend, like I said, joining the Patreon to be a part of that community, because it's better to navigate the space with other people instead of just being by yourself, right? So don't see anybody really leaving any messages here. Don't see anybody leaving any messages. Did it get any big exchanges yet? I saw it got an Astra listing. Let me see. So I did get a listing on Aster. So maybe Binance. There could be Binance speculation there. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, there's the plushie. These are the type of coins that bring retail back to the space as well. As long as a lot of people win on it, these are the type of coins that bring retail back to the space. Okay, here it is, the Aster listing as well. Newport listing Asteroid. You could go 3x leverage on Asteroid Shiba. So these are the type of coins that bring retail back. They do. If enough people win on it, they tell their friends, their family, their co-workers, hey, I made this amount of money on Asteroid Shiba. You see people start coming back to crypto, man. You do. So, as always, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Remember, none of this is financial advice. Really appreciate all the support that you guys give on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Join the public Discord. You know, join the community. You know, I'm doing my utmost best in the space to, you know, help everyone in the space that I can, and just, you know, basically form just a nice community that everyone could come together, focus on their goals in this space, in the crypto space, around other like-minded individuals as well. So, as always, remember to give praise and glory to the Lord God Jesus. Thank God for everything. I'll catch you guys in the next one.